Human-centered design is a creative approach to solving problems, and really what it does is it puts the human, the user human, at the center of everything we do. So really taking an approach of how people experience a product, software, and starting with their needs and pain points and using that to guide the project. We all experience, technology and services and products when human-centered design isn't involved. And you can usually tell when it's frustrating because things should be easy to use, it should be intuitive, and it should solve a real user need. But when it doesn't, people often blame themselves, or they don't have the right information at the right time to make an informed decision. It can add kind of analog processes, time, frustration, and it can add like digital bloat or tech debt, because you're having to create these workaround systems to ultimately solve a human need. I always think about Don Norman, who says this quote that when we're building technology, it should feel like there's a human on the other end. We should be having a conversation, it should feel natural. My favorite thing about human-centered design is it's not just for designers. I believe we are all creative and we all have a stake in the ground when we're building experiences. And by having a cross-functional team, getting project owners, stakeholders, users, developers all in the room to really understand the pain point, I think we build better solutions. The developer team, they have just as much creative freedom and creative ideas to bring to the table around how we can solve something. So when we bring it together and bring the developers in the room, it changes the process. And so instead of just kind of thinking about a backlog or a user feature list based on how the technology should operate, it really focuses what's the right thing to build, and it reduces some of that bloat and maybe spending time on a feature or a solution that ultimately doesn't make a difference in terms of driving revenue or a business goal. So it helps prioritize and bring things into focus. Persona is an artifact. It's really a tool that we use in design thinking to represent a user or a number of users. So it's kind of a fictional person that represents a set of users. So take a restaurant owner. We'll do a bunch of research, maybe quantitative, qualitative research, and we'll compile that and develop a persona that we use to help inform decisions in the design and development process. So what are their goals? What are their pain points? What's their demographic data? How can we kind of put our user hat on? And we do that through using the persona. We could say, all right, how will Amanda use this? When we think about features later on, in the development process, we can say, okay, is this a good feature for Patrick? How will he use it? And how is it different than Amanda? A customer journey is a diagram that depicts a customer going through, it could be a finite journey, like a finite task, like a shopping experience. And it could just be kind of checking out, or it could be end to end. What's it like when they start at home and they think about what they need to shop for? Going to the store, what do they purchase? How do they make decisions? What do they do when they go home? And it really helps illustrate what is happening to the customer at any given point in time, like what are the steps they're taking? How are they experiencing something? Is it a pain point? Is it frustrating? Or is it bringing joy and delight? And we use that to understand where are their pain points that we could fix and really hone in on. And then furthermore, for our technology and business side, what are the processes that are underneath that support that particular user journey? So it can be both current state and it can be future state on how we want to improve the journey. understanding why people make decisions is the first step. Conducting research, what's the context that they're operating in? And then when you apply it, going into the psychology around how people make decisions, what are their mental models? And when I say mental model, it is a device that we all use. What do we expect to happen when we click a button? Or I like to use opening a door, for example. When you see a door that has a pull bar, but it's a push, we've all experienced that, it's really frustrating. That's a mental model of what you were expecting to happen, and it didn't meet your needs. For a consumer application like Netflix, when you go on Netflix, it knows who you are. It knows what types of shows that you like or movies, and it'll have suggestions, and it'll bring that content to you based on you. It will also check with you along the way. Are you still watching? It's a little shaming, but are you still watching? Yes, please don't ask me again. I've been binging this. 2, did you like this? Is this the right content? And they've gotten smarter with how to make it more engaging and bring relevant content to their users across all different types. For the states, removing that friction, removing that administrative burden, and making it easier to automate tasks or get the information that they need at the right time. They can make more informed decisions, they can have the reports that they need, and they can really focus on the work that requires human interaction and making those informed decisions.